Alright guys, so welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be starting something new as it is something that I posted on my YouTube channel post and or community tab, I think it's called. I don't know what you call it, but we are going to be trying out or reviewing the Bleach 2025 challenge inspired by Ms. Manga and her channel. If you would like, please feel free to subscribe to her. I'll leave a link to her channel in the description. So this challenge is basically a challenge where we are going to be reviewing Bleach in the different months for each different volumes. So yeah, so in this episode for today, we're going to be doing it as the date tells us is going to be for January, as we're reading the first seven volumes, and that is what we're going to be talking about today. So. Yeah, so to start it off, I would like to say for those who know about my manga collection, they'll know I have this, but for those who don't know, we do have with us, oh, the 20th anniversary, Bleach Volume 1. So, that is something that I got. I believe the time I got the first volume of Goku Rakugai, even though that it wasn't like the time it came out, but I got it like just around that time, a little bit on sale. So that was pretty good. I did read it a long time ago, but now that I'm sort of doing this challenge, it's better for me to start reading it now. And then moving on to so to start it off, about what Bleach is about. We start off with our main character, Ichigo Kurosaki, who was like a high school student. He has orange hair, and basically his power, or not really a power, but he has the ability to see ghosts or see the undead or the people who have passed on. So he ends up seeing like these punks playing around with some flowers or vase that broke for like a child's death or something like that. So they're playing around with it, and then he started to beat him up for it, and he got new flowers for the girl, I think. So that was pretty cool. But he goes home, his family, for example, his father, he says he's late coming home. He's supposed to be home like 7 p.m. for dinner, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, and he has his family. I forget the dad's name, but the sisters he has Yuzu and Karin, I believe their names are. So, yeah. All right. So now, when he's in his room, he does happen to meet a certain person called a Soul Reaper by the name of Rukia Kuchiki, I believe her name is, and yeah. So she basically explains to him that there's a hollow around the area, and she has to go vaporize it or sort of take it out and sort of cleanse the souls of the people who are passing on to the soul society. Like there's a difference between a hollow and then just a regular dead spirit, because the dead spirits they want to bring them to the soul society, which will then allow them to live happily. But then the people who turn into hollows, then we have to take them out because then they have turned evil at that point. So now one comes up near the house that they are in, and yeah, it does not go well. Things are turning bad, action going on. Ichigo tries to save his family, but in the end, it all ends up going to Rukia, who's like, "Hey, you want some Soul Reaper powers or what?" And Ichigo ends up taking the deal. So even though she was not supposed to do that, we'll get into that a little bit later. But uh, him having some new Soul Reaper powers, it looks pretty cool when he is in that form. I could probably show you guys real quick. I don't know if this will show well. Yeah. So yeah, so there's Ichigo right there. So All right. So moving on from that, what actually happened? What actually happened after that situation is they think the family thinks that since they can't see well, the hollows or they lose their memory from it, they saw like a truck just like drove into their house and whatnot, destroyed everything. So, yeah. So we do have some additional characters besides like the family Ichigo and Rukia. For example, Orihime Inoue, I think her other name is like, but I know her name is Orihime. She has her first uh, instance with a Hollow, which happens to be her brother. Crazy enough. So, sorry, my mind is blanking there. So, yeah. So with her and her brother turned into a hollow. She ends up seeing him in that kind of state. We realize that hollows can actually be regular humans or humans that turn into hollows after they die if they have sort of resentment or sort of grudge against other people. So yeah, so the reason for what happened was is that the brother had a grudge in terms of she stopped praying to him like at a shrine or something like that in the house. So like she was taking off time for other things and he didn't like that, so he wanted to attack her. So that was her first instance with Hollow. But to move on later in the story where she did have access to powers or abilities is when she had to save her friends and she ends up meeting or she has like these sort of earrings that turn into like these small looking fairy looking things. I have the name of them right here. They are by the name of the Shunshu Rika, the six princess shielding flowers. So yeah, there's like a bunch of them, and they have the ability to like make shields, heal people, and attack. I guess so. Yeah, and now moving on to one of my favorite characters from this 7 volumes, or maybe even my favorite character just in general right now, Chad or Sado Yasutora. So he's known for being the tall guy, always taking the damage, as we see him in the beginning, taking lots of hits from hollows when he does have his first instance with one with Rukia because he necessarily cannot see them, but she guided him in order to attack it, which was pretty cool in and of itself. I believe that was in volume 2 or 3. So it's basically it was cool how and she's telling him, "Oh, he's right over here. He's to the right." And then he just breaks one of the poles, like the wooden poles that have like the on like the wires, and then he just slams it right on. Well, it was really funny. So yeah. Other than that, he does have his first his power that he gained is sort of like a strong arm or like with a shield looking thing on it, like on the side of his right arm. So it looks pretty cool, you know? So I can't knock him for it. There is a character that did have a small arc, well, two characters necessarily with Don Kanoji and Kon. I mean, Kon is more prominent in the story. I feel like he's probably just gonna be here a lot. But Don Kanoji, I don't necessarily know that much about him. He's like a showbiz kind of guy. He has like this sort of thing. Yeah. Um, there is other characters that did get introduced, like Kisuke Urahara, who runs a shop for Soul Reapers, like to buy stuff, because Rukia bought some stuff for him. For example, the pill that summons Ichigo's Soul Reaper powers. And yeah, other than that, we meet one of the probably another prominent character in the story, Uryu Ishida. He's Quincy. Quincy and Soul Reapers don't necessarily get along. They both do vaporize or take out hollows, but Quincy's they're more about destroying them, while Soul Reapers are trying to cleanse them a little bit, because they see them as human, but Quincy's they just want them gone. So yeah. Other than that, uh, in terms of his story, he hates the Soul Reapers. He wants to challenge Ichigo by just seeing who can defeat more Hollows, but that turned out to be something crazy where Amenos Grande just ends up coming to the world that they live in, and it sort of didn't wreck too much, but Ichigo was able to take it out in a slash, so that was pretty cool. And other than that, going back to what what is mainly to happen in the story is we see some other Soul Reapers coming in. I don't believe their names were mentioned, but I do know their names. It is Renji and Byakuya. So what happened was Rukia, she was going back to my point earlier, she wasn't supposed to give out her powers to Ichigo, which she completely lost now, so she's pretty useless. Aside from her learning, her having like these sort of, I believe, Kido powers, like she can like do things with like a fist, like with a glove and stuff like that. So and yeah, so when she lost her powers, it was apparently illegal, and now she has to go, and because it's a pretty painful punishment that she might face, who knows? But Ichigo, he tries to save her, but doesn't end up doing that, and yeah, so I guess all in all, now he has to train in order to get her back. He's training with Urahara in his shop. Uh, I believe Chad and Orihime, since they have their powers, they're probably going to train with him in the next few volumes. So, yeah. Um, I would say the series is very interesting. And the big three, in the grand scheme of things, I don't know if it's going to be better than Naruto, because I usually seen it as One Piece, Naruto, then Bleach. So maybe Bleach might take over Naruto for me. Who knows? So I need to see more of that. Chad, he's really doing it for me, but Ichigo, he's also pretty cool. He has his moments, you know. Even if one thing I did miss is with the passing of his mother. Uh, that is something that holds dearly to him. The moment they went to the grave and they ended up finding a hollow that sort of mimicked how she looked and sort of tricked him into saving, like trying to save this little girl or something like that, and her mother or his mother tried to stop him from doing that and ended up getting hurt. So, and it led to her death at that point. So, yeah. And so, yeah, I think this series is going to be very promising. I know the Thousand Year Blood War arc is receiving well in the later parts of Bleach, so hopefully ready to see that. And let me know, guys, how you would like this video to be structured, and how I can do more in terms of how I can make it better for you guys, what we guys would like to see. But one thing I would like to end it on is the top three volume covers of Bleach that I did see. All right, so the number three or third place goes to volume 7 with Byakuya on the cover, looking pretty calm there. Nothing too hard or nothing too cool about it. Uh, all right, and then number second goes to volume 6 with Kisuke Urahara, showing the back a little bit with with the jacket, you know, and the hat, you know. But to be honest, I know I have the 20th anniversary volume 1 here, but the number one spot goes to some. I want to say surprisingly because I know this looks amazing, but volume 1 is first on my list, you know. So yeah. And one last thing I would like to end it on is probably a quote from one of the volumes. Um, all right, so. the last quote or the of the day that I'm going to be leaving this on is from Volume 4, saying, "We are drawn to each other like drops of water, like the planets. We repulse each other like magnets, like the color. We repulse each other like magnets, like the colors of our skin." So take that as you will. I just thought that was a cool kind of quote. So thanks to everybody who watched this video. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and check out more other content that we have on here, or hit the notification bell for more future uploads. And we are currently doing some solo leveling reactions. Maybe coming back to Chainsaw Man once we caught up on that. Aside from that, we do have the Patreon up. If you guys would like to subscribe to that, if you feel like it. And we're currently doing some full timer uncut reactions to Samurai Champloo. So yeah, I'm pretty very much enjoying what I'm doing in terms of the content creating space, even if I am doing Twitch also, but um, I sort of trying to put more effort into these videos so that they sort of like I want to put like more quality into these, since these are like supposed to be made rather than it being like a live reaction or something like that. So yeah, all right. So thanks to everybody who watched this video, and I guess that's it for me. Thank you, everybody.